Yeah! Hello and welcome. Welcome to Crab Stats, and today we are talking about the top 5 XG chances, and we'll also look at the 5 least likely goals. We're starting right now, so lock in and get ready. Alright, it was a truncated week in the Premier League, but there was still 5 matches, and that means that there's still goals and chances to take a look at. So without further ado, let's get going. If you're new here, remember to like and subscribe. It's what makes us happy as video makers. So here we go. Starting with a little bit of a different one. So today we're going to look at the Assorted Huddersfield matches players here. So this one was a bit of an interesting one, and it's going to be one that we'll go through. So it all starts with Jason Puncheon, who is driving through with the ball. He comes in, and he looks like he's going to take a shot, and it pulls out the West Ham defense, who is going to block it, but leaves him a chance to play a through ball, and it is a great one. So here is Terence Kongolo. He's got a chance. He's it's shot from feet from the center of the box. It's about 11.8 meters. Again, assisted by a through ball. Classify it as a big chance. There is 0 defensive pressure and only 1 defender, the goalie, between the shot and the goal. So this one gets rated as a .492 XG, which typically wouldn't be good enough to get to the top of the list. But this one is a little bit different because, after all, it ends up being saved, and it's going to get a rebound opportunity here for Philip Billing. So he's got a shot here at 11.1 meters. It's unassisted, again, from the rebound. Big chance. This one has light pressure as the West Ham defender is playing him, and there are now 2 defenders between the shot and the goal. This one ends up going wide and falls again to the player that started it all, Jason Puncheon. And so this is probably the second best of the 3 different chances here. So he's 7.5 meters out. It's unassisted because it's a deflected shot here. It's classified as a big chance with light pressure, with 2 defenders between the shot and the goal. So one of the things that I really wanted to take a look at here is also how this kind of plays into when you're looking at those running XG maps, how these things are classified. Typically what you would see is just the one shot. So the first shot was a 0.492 XG chance. But because there is 3 shots in this sequence, it's interesting to see how that all plays together. They're not all added because, there are independencies between the 3 shots. So the first shot, you have a .492 chance of there being a goal, a .508 chance of there not being a goal. So then we play into the second shot. So it's a 4.57 chance. So when you consider that with the first one where there was the 0.5 of not being a goal, that gives you a 0.23 XG and a 0.276 of there not being a goal. So that then will play into the third shot where you have a 0.48 chance. And so that, with the probability of getting to this far, would give an XG of 0.13, and a non-shot, or if there was a fourth shot here, it would be 0.14 of this getting this far. So when you take all of these, the whole sequence of events will have a total XG of 0.857, or at least that's how I calculate it when I'm doing the running XG. So there's some people that will do it slightly different, but this is the way. So if that's a question that I get pretty often. So now you know the answer, at least to how I do it. And I think most people will do it similar to this. There's different ways that, you break out when a sequence ends, but at least for most part, this is how it's done. Next, we have Gonzalo Higuaín, and this one is a pretty interesting one. So this one, it starts with a play down the right-hand side, and then this is a nice play where it's going to be a first-time through ball where he spots Higuaín making the run. So I actually thought that was a pretty interesting one. So you can see he's got the pass, and he's going right over the top. The Everton defense isn't able to. They're all on their back foot. They haven't turned to be able to run with Higuaín. The only thing is that this ball ends up staying up in the air a little bit longer than probably Higuaín would like, so he doesn't have a chance to get wide open. His first touch takes him a little bit to the right, but the Everton defender has had a chance to do a little bit of a recovery. So this is a shot from feet. It's classified as the center of the box, about 8.5 meters. It's assisted with a through ball. It's classified as a big chance. There is moderate pressure here as the Everton defender is coming in to make him, so he doesn't have a zero pressure situation. And it says 4 defenders here. There's actually just the one defender, so that was a typo here as I'm making the graphic here. So this one ends up as a 0.536 xG, 0.698 on the defensive pressure, and 0.35 on shot placement xG. Next is Mo Salah, and there's going to be quite a bit from this match, the Liverpool versus Fulham match. It was an interesting one. So this one starts with Salah pressuring the Fulham midfielder here. It ends up with Sadio Mané being able to recover the pressure, and they go on a 2-man counterattack. Both of them go in pressure. I thought this was actually a pretty interesting run from Salah. So typically you would have expected him to stay wide to the right to try to pull out the defenders, but he actually does something a little bit interesting and bends his run and goes right behind Sadio Mané, and you can see that this caused quite a bit of confusion for the Fulham defense. So here we got 3 guys that end up on Mané. Poor Callum Chambers is having to make a decision. Does he come out and try to defend, or does he stay with Salah? He decides to step out. Mané plays a great little pass here, and Salah is free. So this one is here right at the moment of the shot. It's a shot from the center of the box. This one is 14.3 meters. It's assisted. It's following a fast break. It's a big chance with no pressure and just the one defender between the shot and the goal. This one has a rating of 0.563 xG, 0.69 on the defensive pressure, and 0.46 on the shot placement. This one actually ends up saved as well. So, it's a good chance, but it's not scored. Next, we got, again, Liverpool and Sadio Mané. So this one was a pretty well taken for the first goal. So Mané starts the play, feeding Firmino with a little through ball. Firmino plays it back. Look at all the Liverpool offensive players there ready for the cutback. So he cuts it back, and it's Mané who gets it. So this is a shot from feet from the center of the box, 8.6 meters, assisted with a cutback cross. Opta big chance, no pressure. Look at the Fulham, they're totally sucked down, and there are 4 defenders between the shot and the goal. So this one gets a 0.569 xG rating, 0.501 defensive pressure. A lot of that is because there are 4 defenders between the shot and the goal, so there is a pretty good chance that this one gets blocked. And it's 0.45 on the shot placement model. And that brings us to number 1 and Ryan Babel. So this one doesn't have Liverpool covering themselves in glory. It starts with a sliced clearance by James Milner, and it's brought back with a header there by Virgil van Dijk. And this one, Alisson doesn't step up quick enough, and Ryan Babel has a chance to close him down. I don't know if that's something that typically happens, but you can kind of see that he probably should get a little bit closer. You can see his defender getting closed down rather hard. So I think that Alisson should probably step up here, and he doesn't. So here we go. It's a 50-50. Babel is the first one to the ball. Alisson tries to make himself big, and you can see that it just clips off of him, and it falls nicely for Babel here. This one is a 0.66 on the XG, 0.884 on the defensive pressure because there is nobody there. It's an open net, and 0.62 on the shot placement. Again, the shot placement kind of undervalues this one because it doesn't understand that there is an open net to shoot into, so it really doesn't matter where he puts it as long as it's on frame. All right, so now that we saw the 5 best chance, we're going to look at the opportunities that were least likely to turn into goals and did. So we are going to start with Dwight McNeil. All right, so this one starts with Burnley attacking Leicester. He plays a ball out to the far left, and this is one that I actually found pretty interesting. It was something that you would typically expect Burnley to do, is to cross this right across to their big strikers, but instead it's cut back to McNeil, who takes a shot. So this one is 18.4 meters, assisted during regular play. So this one doesn't get the cutback because that is within the 18-yard box, or at least in my definition of a cutback. This one, there are 4+ defenders, but this one does have no defensive pressure. So this one has a rating of 0.54 on the regular XG, 0.077 on defensive pressure, and it's 0.33 on shot placement. So let's take a look at where that one goes through the line. It's down low because it's from the left and it's towards the back corner. It gets a fairly high rating. I bet that Schmeichel wishes he could do a little bit better on that one because it's not the greatest shot in the world. Next, we got James Maddison, and this one is from a direct free kick. These ones are always a little bit harder to judge, at least in the XG model. This one gets a 0.48, a 0.31 on the defensive pressure. A lot of that, again, because there is the wall, but I'm not sure if that really adds or distracts from any of the pressure that's actually there, and 0.29 on the shot placement, because this is another one that was well taken. So this one is you can see where it ends up here. It's right in the corner. Well done. And it's a great shot from James Maddison. Next, we got Josh King. Another one that, is probably a pretty decent chance. And, again, probably because there was so few matches, we don't get some of these screamers like we did last week. We got shots a little bit closer. So this one, just right on the edge of the box. This one says it's 18.6 to the center of the goal. So it's, again, right on the edge. I think it rolls right over, so it gets to the outside of the box classification. It's a 0.45 on the XG, 0.34 on defensive pressure, because, again, there's a lot of bodies between the shot and the goal, so there's a lot of opportunities for it to get blocked. But the shot placement on this one is absolutely perfect, making it one that is well taken. 0.42 on the shot placement. Look at that. I think it goes just inside of the post, leaving the keeper almost no chance to save it. Number 2 is, again, from the Newcastle match, and it's Salomón Rondón and his free kick. This one I really liked the angle where they showed how much of the net is open, and how much the keeper is really depending on that wall to be able to defend that side. So this one, again, this one's a little bit further out than James Maddison's. This one's 28.9 meters. It's unassisted, no to pressure, but there are the 4+ defenders. So it's a 0.035 on the XG, 0.021 on defensive pressure, and 0.12 on shot placement. And a lot of that is just because of the distance to the goal. It is right in the corner, but because it is so far out, typically you would see a keeper have a chance to be able to get across his goal, even though it's in the corner, because it's so far out. You would see that get saved, about 70% of the time. And number 1, we got Karlan Grant. And this one was a play that was from pretty far out. It's a 0.31 on the XG, 0.26 on defensive pressure, and another one that was well taken with a 0.29 in the shot placement. This one was assisted from regular play, light pressure. The West Ham defender isn't, really pressuring him, but he's not making it easy for him. And you can see this is another one that goes just inside the post, and it is well taken. All right. So thank you again. This was the top 5 XG chances for week 31 and the 5 least likely goals. If you like what you see, like and subscribe, do all the things that we like as video makers. Thanks again, and bye.